You know what? I'll turn it on, but it's gonna be kind of.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. I'm sorry. And we are live. Welcome to episode number 63. Can you believe it's been 63 of Untitled, the best the best show that you've never heard of? Isn't that amazing? In these days of social media and all this, and clicks and views, and I can't even get that, but it's still high quality that we put out week after week after week. This is episode 63. I'm your host, R. Jones. Joining me is my main man, formerly from the BX down in the Carolinas, my man Dominic. How you doing tonight, buddy?
You know it's all good. You know what I'd like to know? Counting Untitled and In the Paint. I wonder how many shows we actually have done.
Bro.
You think 400?
More, man, I dare say 400. Because I remember I was brought into In the Paint kind of late in the game, so to speak. Because our dearly departed brother Max, that was his baby, and he had many other hosts before me, co-hosts before me. Yeah, I was probably one of the last ones to join. And then you guys came along as well. You know what I'm saying?
I'm counting. I'm counting 7 years that I've known y'all.
Yeah, I think it's been for like 11, 12 years with him. Yeah,
is that something?
And we've been doing this for a while. Brother.
Just think, we're 5 years removed from COVID. Already.
Oh, exactly. That's something. A kick in the head.
I remember them shows. Oh, Lord. Anyway.
It's all good, brother. You doing all right, though, brother?
Of course. You know that.
Of course, man. It's got to make sure. Well, I think we got a good on for tonight. You know, we got some Knicks talks and what. You know, I know you've seen the topics and whatnot.
Yes, sir.
I think we got some good stuff to talk about tonight. Hopefully, it won't be too long tonight. Hopefully, we'll see. You know how.
You know what my measuring stick is?
What's that?
If my battery's dying on my iPad, we're going too far.
Exactly. All right, let's get into this. First thing on the docket tonight, we're going the lane of Major League Baseball, particularly with the New York Mets and their issue, especially with the starting pitching. That has to be addressed because they've suffered some injuries. With their starting pitcher, and we talked about this one guy that the New York Mets had when Francisco Lindor went down. There's this young man who was his older brother, goes by the name of Luisangel Acuna, and we've seen what this kid can do. I think they're right now that they have him as a utility player. Is that like a jack of all trades, master of none? That's what that meaning that says to me, to be honest. But I've seen flashes of brilliance from this guy and what he could possibly do. If he's anything like his brother, that's a stud right there. But here's the thing: why would you even want to put something out there to trade this guy for some pitching, even if it is frontline pitching? I'm sorry, I can't do it. I couldn't do it, Dom. They're talking about getting what's that kid on San Diego, Dylan Cease. They're talking about another guy, Castillo, who's 30. This is the one that really gets me. This guy Castillo is 31 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. He's had like 3 All-Star seasons. High volume strikeout guy. I'll give him that. But at the same time, he's 31 years old. You understand? At some point, you're gonna trade a guy that could be on top in his prime for at least for a decade. Okay, a decade of top-notch production. You're willing to trade that? If I'd be shocked. If I was a Met fan and that went down, I'll be like, oh hell no! I'm going to cross town. I'm going to the Yankees. That's it, or wherever else, as far as support, because that makes no sense whatsoever to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was looking at the article, I'm like, wait, what? I said, this guy? Even for Dylan Cease with San Diego, no. And really, the Cease thing would be probably a 1-year deal. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not going to stay. It's a 1-year rental. A 1-year rental. Where is the thinking, the long term? Where's the stability? I mean, I can't understand it, and I'm shocked that the general manager, David Stearns, would even consider something like this. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, this is something that's like untouchable, off the table. No way. You know, I slammed the door in their face. I hang up the phone on them as soon as you mentioned Acuna. No, no way. No, it's ridiculous to me. What are some of your thoughts on that, brother?
Before I give you my thoughts,
yes, sir.
Of course, I was talking to my brother. Y'all know as Shamik, I know as Craig.
Oh yeah.
He said, "Damn, I closed the store tonight. Then I'm headed to Delaware. His daughter's in Delaware State."
Oh, okay.
But let me tell you this. Pass this on, Don. We are deep at second base, and Mauricio is going to be a monster. Have to give to get. I was like, but are you willing to give up a 22-year-old who in 14 games last year are hit 308, 641 slugging percentage, 12 hits, 2 doubles, 1 triple, 3 homers, 6 RBIs, and he'll be 23 on March 12th.
Okay, right.
But here's where I go, I remember, and I hate to be the guy to say I told you. You remember when the Mets unloaded them senior citizen pitchers?
Yeah, sure.
And part of that deal was this young man. And I told you, I said, this guy is like the top 3 prospect in the minor league.
Right.
And y'all were like, man, he got a brother that could play. And then I remember texting you, they're showing his damn minor league game on ESPN. After I told you that, I clicked it and he hit a home run. I'm like, this guy is. They actually have him listed as a shortstop, but like you said, he's like that Swiss Army knife.
Yes,
I think he could play all 3 positions minus first base because he is kind of short.
Right
in the infield. Come on, man! I said it when the Mets got him. Sky's the limit for this kid, man.
Exactly.
At 22 years old, and what you're saying, you're basically gonna bankroll this kid for a rental. Y'all think y'all are that close?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the one. That's the part that's got me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You think you're that? You giving a rental and giving away this kid is gonna have you leapfrog Philly and Atlanta.
You're right.
Because I said it back. I said it then. Too bad Dave ain't on the line. He's the only Met fan.
Right.
I told Dave when they got Soto, it's an upgrade. Don't get me wrong. But you're still the 3rd best team in your own division.
Exactly.
This rental pitcher is gonna come on. There's a time you got to say.
I know.
I know how Met fans feel because their owner is like this flamboyant. I'll spend all the money I can. Well, you do that. You do that. Spending all that money again does not make you better than Philadelphia or Atlanta.
I gotta ask you a question. What was Craig's take on that? What was his answer to you asking that question about him? Are they willing to get?
I told you. I read what he said. He's for it. This is his mentality. We are deep at second base. He's assuming, like I am, basically, this kid's going to be a second baseman.
Right.
We are deep at second base. Mauricio is going to be a monster. I guess he's somebody up and coming in the Mets organization. I never heard of him.
I never heard of him either.
I don't even see him on I see him on the roster. He's 2 years older than Acuna.
Okay.
He played 26 games in the majors last year, hit a mere 248. 1 home run less in the short period Acuna played. So this is Craig's. He'd rather have this guy replace that guy and go all in for a rental. And again, we know how they feel. We know how a team feels when you're short on pitching.
Right.
But then again, didn't they do that? Matter of fact, the proof of the pudding is when you get desperate for a pitcher, and the Mets got lucky to get rid of those desperate pitchers, and they got this kid. You want to do that again?
Yeah, I'm not with that. I'm not.
You might not get that lucky.
Exactly. I'm not a Met fan like that. I mean,
me either.
Because I support them. I don't hate them now.
I'm a baseball fan.
Just like you, exactly. Just like you. I support them and whatnot, but that's just not my favorite team.
That's crazy. I'm sorry. Again, we're not Met fans. We're just 2 baseball fans talking. I just think this kid and it's been said like a year and a half ago when I told you guys I researched this kid. He's hot shit. And a year and a half later, you're ready to bankroll him for.
I don't understand that.
Unless they know something we don't know. Oh, I'm just reading his numbers from last year.
Possibility. Right.
I'm just reading what he did. And you know what? I hate using the word eye test. But you can see this kid. Like in baseball, it's kind of like
you can tell.
Eyes wide. Yeah, exactly. Eyes wide open. The way they stand, the way they feel, the way they even stand. Like, yeah, this kid's a ball player.
The confidence is there.
Yeah, he knows he's a ball player.
He belongs in the major leagues. Period.
And who is this pitcher? Where is he from? San Diego?
Yeah, Dylan Cease.
So you're gonna send him to San Diego, who's already a viable team. Y'all might not even be better than them.
Exactly.
Oh no, hell, we understand every team needs pitching, but you only got no pitchers in the minor leagues. The New York Mets, who was like the epitome of pitching, y'all ain't got nobody down there.
You know what? To an extent, I hear what you're saying about the epitome of pitching and whatnot. And let me just add this: there's been times when they have struck out with this expectation throughout the years or whatnot of their prospects.
Yeah,
I remember the first one I remember was Generation K, and all three of those guys turned out to be bums at some, either through injury or just not meeting the expectation. I remember what's his name, Jason Isringhausen.
Yeah.
What's Paul Wilson, and I forgot the third one's name, but that was Generation K. That was supposed to be it back then, and nothing.
You remember who was the hard thrower?
I think Wilson. Wilson was a pretty hard thrower. Actually, all three of them kind of threw hard. I'm trying to think of the other one as well.
The stocky guy. I think he had got hurt. What was his name?
Let me see if I can find.
Yeah, they went from that to. I don't know, but you know the thing is, like, not to switch bases, but I like Stroman. For some reason, I like Stroman. He's a Yankee now, so I like him even more.
Right.
But for some reason, there's so many people. I understand it's been like this for a couple of years now. He gets off to a hot start, 10, 12 starts in, he starts to. But I still like him. I'd rather have him and not have to bankroll a up-and-coming prospect for a question mark.
For sure.
I know what I'm getting with Stroman.
For sure. Exactly. Well, you know what? I like Stroman as well. You know what I'm saying? Like when he was with the Mets and then he went to the Yankees. I was a big fan because to me, he's a battler. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you know what you're getting with him. You understand what I'm saying? Will he have those moments where he's like a lull period during the season? Of course. But he always comes back in battles. What I like about him is he eats innings as well. And quality starts. That goes a long way. You understand what I'm saying? So I just don't know why this guy is not heralded as much as some other starters in the league as well. You know, and the guy that I'm talking about, I said about Generation K, it was Paul Wilson, Jason Isringhausen, and a guy named Bill Pulsifer.
I can't. I'm trying to find that other guy's name while we're talking. I forgot what year he was with the Mets. But remember, he was the next big thing.
Oh, you're not talking about Matt Harvey.
Matt Harvey, there you go. Matt Harvey. Remember him? Guy was a flamethrower.
The Dark Knight.
The next Tom Seaver.
Exactly. The Dark Knight fizzled out.
The Dark Knight. Yeah, what happened? Yeah, he just
Yeah.
And again, that's the beauty and the beast of baseball. You'll roll those dice, and like I said before, speaking of the Mets, they paid a lot of money for Soto. Very good ball player. I will pump my brakes with great.
Exactly. And you said this multiple times already. Yes, sir.
Yeah. You're spending all this money. The guy's never won an MVP, never won a Gold Glove, never won a batting title, never won a home run title. And besides not having a Gold Glove, he is suspect in the outfield. Keep it a buck. I'm not saying that because he left the Yankees. It is what it is.
No, you're speaking facts.
And you spent all that money on You got what you wanted. I will say that you went all in. Gave this guy's family a clothing allowance, a suite, a jet, whatever. You went all in. God bless you. But nah, because guess what? Soto was Aquino before Aquino. He was that hot ticket and I give Soto the utmost respect because every step of the way, he bet on himself.
Yes, he did.
He bet on himself in
he won.
Washington. He bet on himself in San Diego. He bet on himself on the Yankees, and he won. So, but he's not a pitcher. So, and that's why I even said what I said to Dave when they got him. That does not make y'all better than the two teams ahead of you.
Yeah, you know what? This is true, and I gotta tell you, like it's the same because Philly and Atlanta are great teams in that division. You understand? Maybe for the National League, they're two great teams. Okay, I had given this guy. I got to give a lot of credit to the Mets GM though. I with that being said, even though they're probably the third best team in that division, but this GM, because he was a general manager of the Milwaukee Brewers previously, okay, and he made some solid moves. Now these moves weren't like earth-shattering or headline-grabbing transactions that he did, but he made some really slick, under-the-table moves. I like that about him, but is it enough to push them past Philly or Atlanta? I mean, maybe they can close the gap and a little bit, but in reality, I just don't see it. No. As you put it out there, I don't see it either.
Because of you look at what Atlanta did last year. Not to get off track with the trading, but you look at what Atlanta did last year, minus Aquino, minus other injuries. They maintained. They still was the hot team in the East. Let's keep it a buck. Them in. So now you come back healthy. And like I said, of the 5 teams I have not visited, the one that I did until I see Citi Field, Truist Park is the best stadium I have witnessed in my baseball stadium Tour de France.
Yeah.
I tell you what, bro. We was talking about it before the show. The bucket list, not so bucket list.
Yes, sir.
If you get a chance to see that shit, Dave's been there.
He been there.
When they turn them lights off in the 7th inning and everybody hits their phones or their lighters and starts doing that. Whoa!
Get out of here.
Done. I could have went home. and I was watching them. I think they was playing.
Who?
Maybe the Nationals. I didn't even see. I told you the thing. When I go to the game, I don't care who's playing. I'm just going to see the stadium.
Exactly.
But when I saw that, I was done. I was like, no, this is like next level craziness. Because you remember the days. We're not that far removed where Atlanta, as great as they was, couldn't sell out.
Of course.
Now you go to this new pretty ass stadium. And they hit them lights on. They start doing that tomahawk chop with flashlights. I was like,
dude, I got to experience that.
That's it.
I got. Listen.
And you know what's weird?
Going.
I wish one day they would not cut to a commercial.
Yeah, I would love to see that
during this. And you could, TV would give it a good look, but being there, I didn't know what was happening. The lights went out, and they got the regular like dim light so that it's not pitch black, because you never know what might happen if all the lights go out. But
exactly.
And then all you saw was flashlights doing this shit. I was like,
yeah, I got to experience that.
I was like, no. I called my boy in California, Martin. I said, Martin, I'm done.
Yeah.
I am done. I've never seen nothing like, never mind the stadium being beautiful.
Right, but just that experience and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Just that forget about it. You know what I mean?
And you know what? They're still with all the glitz and glamour. They're still a very good team, minus the beautiful ballpark, and they're still a very good team. So,
and they've been a great team for years.
Since the 90s, man. Come on, yeah. They're probably the best team of the 90s. That only won
one series.
Because, of course, they went up against the Yankees, and the Yankees were dominant in the 90s. But I tell you what, I wouldn't Other than the Dodgers with this getting every player under the sun shit.
I'm not a fan of that.
I would not turn my back on Atlanta. If I was an Atlanta fan, I'd still be, hey, anything can happen.
I would root for them, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. I do remember what the Yankees had did, but I don't think the Yankees went this far.
Nah.
I don't think Major League Baseball would have let the Yankees go that far.
Exactly.
And now it's like, hey.
Are you kidding me? They wouldn't let the self-proclaimed, well, actually, I shouldn't even say self-proclaimed, but the name that was given to them, the evil empire back in the day, is what they referred to us as, you know what I'm saying, the evil empire. They wouldn't have allowed that whatsoever.
No, not at all.
I totally agree with that.
And now not as an angry, bitter, whatever. No, it's just, it's not making the sport any better.
No, it isn't.
To be honest,
it really isn't. I'm just
it's like the NBA. With all the NBA tricks and ponies and this and that, it's not making the game better. Gimmicks don't work.
No, they don't. And you're seeing the result of that.
And you know what? I don't know, not to switch horses, but I don't know. I don't know this guy's name. I wish I did.
Ooh.
I could probably search it. He's the black guy that's on ESPN that talks hockey.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
He broke this shit down.
He sure did.
Between what the NHL was doing with this country thing versus the NBA All-Star game.
Exactly.
And we've said it for how long,
Exactly.
At the rate y'all are going, just cancel the All-Star game. Because guess what? Now y'all are 2 steps behind Major League Baseball in general, hockey, because what hockey did this year are incredible.
Right.
Baseball has the World Baseball Classic. And NBA is still changing the format of a bullshit All-Star game for the last umpteen years because of gimmicks. They're too into gimmicks where NHL and MLB said, you know what? You remember when baseball was having a hard time in the All-Star games, and they said, hey, the winner gets home field advantage in the World Series.
Right, in the World Series.
That worked for quite a few years because guess what? Now the All-Star games are good again.
Exactly.
And we didn't have to do that no more. Best team, best record, let's go. So, I don't like what the NBA does. Again, not to change horses, but in baseball, in baseball, the two, what we would call the other sports, like NFL are, they said, you know what? We understand. We don't want nobody getting hurt in this, what do they call it? The Pro Bowl. And we're missing all these players that are playing in the Super Bowl. Hey, you know what? Let's go out there and have fun, play flag football.
Exactly.
Wow.
Nothing wrong with that.
Wow.
What's wrong with that? That's okay.
But basketball and Commissioner Bobblehead, he thinks all these gimmicks are going to draw this and draw that. And you know what? It ain't like it ain't working this year. It hasn't been working for
a while,
quite a few years.
All it's going to do is going to garner much more criticism than it's already taken.
Exactly. And you know what my get out of jail free card is? Again, I'm gonna stop after this. My get out of jail free card is hopefully when Amazon comes in with Taylor Rooks, Dirk Nowitzki, Carmelo Anthony, and they bring in this new blood. Hopefully, if we can only talk to them, or if they'd watch our show, fellas, ladies, let's concentrate on the game.
Yeah.
None of the gimmicks no more. None of the NBA on TNT with Charles Barkley and Shaq, spending 90% of their time bad-mouthing players, bad-mouthing teams. Right. It was long overdue that shit show would go away. I don't know why ESPN felt the need to kiss their ass and have them do a show every whatever this shit's going to be. I don't know, but I'm more concentrating on Rooks and that crew, and I want to see that the same way I wanted to see Taylor on Sunday Night Football. Remember on NBC Sunday?
You see, exactly.
Because you're seeing something new. But the crew they had concentrated on what? The game.
Yep.
They didn't concentrate on all these tricks and, all this bullshit. And I hope that's what my lady Rooks and her crew, hey, guys, all the jokes and the Kevin Hart shit, let's talk about basketball.
Exactly.
Let's keep it a buck.
Let's get back to that.
Exactly. Let's go back to that. Remember?
Hey, there you go.
NBA on, and matter of fact, and NBC is part of the new contract too with Paramount. So
I think they got Reggie Miller as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's going to be doing what he's doing now. He'll be that, the next guy in the booth, with whoever the play. I don't know who the play-by-play guys are going to be yet. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the guys that were on TNT. These guys ain't going to turn down jobs.
You won't have to worry about what's her name. What's that lady's name? Doris Burke.
Oh, but they still have a handful of games. ESPN does have not many.
Not many.
You have a handful of games. You're right, on. Not to get on that subject, but I don't want nobody thinking we're, anti-women in sports. No, because I'm sitting here promoting Taylor Rooks.
You sure enough are.
So I definitely ain't going that route. I just don't think she's a. And you know what else? I hate to say this, man.
What's that?
I always thought, what's his name? The guy that runs the show on TNT, the white guy.
Oh, Ernie Johnson.
He always sounds like he's emceeing a funeral. Well, I'm like, this guy sounds like he's, doing a
you know what? I kind of like Ernie for some reason. Man.
I used to, but again, I think they should have did away with this a while ago. You know what I always use in reference to this? I used to love the show Brandy. Remember Brandy, the singer?
Oh, okay.
She had her show.
Yes.
But you know what? They ran it for 5 years and said, hey, let's get out while the getting's good.
Right.
They didn't try. They could have tried to milk it, and Brandy grows up, becomes a grown-ass woman, and we're watching Brandy like we're watching The Simpsons for 45 years. They hit pay dirt, and they said, let's go. TNT didn't do that. Every time they tried to reinvent it, they made it worse. It's just, it became sad to watch, and you know what? They proved it during the All-Star game. That was probably the worst televised weekend that I've ever seen in the NBA.
It was horrible.
Yeah,
it was horrible.
And I don't watch the All-Star game. I try to pick some of the weekend stuff. I have not watched an All-Star game in
we already know how long. It's been decades.
It's been decades. So let's move on before we get an NBA stomachache.
It's all good. Get in the lane of the NFL for a few minutes or whatnot. So this guy, Deebo Samuel, wide receiver. Trade request. Yeah, I heard the groan from you, but for whatever reason, I get it. You know what I find amazing is this guy. I think a few seasons ago, when he was an All-Pro, he had amazing numbers. But from that point, especially last season, you've seen a significant decline. I don't know, man. This is just kind of weird for me. I mean, you're not that old. I mean, you got a few seasons in you. I get that, but at the same time, is it the culture there? It's something that's just not making sense. Why are you not happy at a place where you're pretty much revered? I mean, dare I say, he pretty much is. So I don't get that. I'm like, well, what's happening here?
And you know what? While the 49ers had for their part, a bad season.
Yes.
It's not like they suck.
No.
They're a pretty good team, and they've been a pretty good team since me and you was probably blowing our nose.
Exactly.
So where do you think, this is what I love about the NFL, and the reason I'm not a big NFL fan, just trade me. I don't want to be here no more. Trade me. Where are you going to go, man? You had 600 and something yards receiving last year.
Yeah, it's not like you're
not an All-Pro no more, Rodney. I hate to break it to you.
You're not a Justin Jefferson guy.
No.
You're not at that level. Not taking away from people's talent and his ability, whatnot, but you're just not at that level anymore. I really don't think so. You might have a quarterback coming in, maybe, because I think Purdy is gonna get a contract extension if he does.
Yeah.
Or they've talked about bringing, or not them, Aaron Rodgers.
I hope that ship has sailed with teams are serious.
You know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers is kind of trying to finagle his way into the good graces of not just San Francisco, but also the Los Angeles Rams possibly as well. Well, having their own issues at quarterback with a quarterback situation as well. So I don't know.
He's going to be 42 years old
Mm-hmm.
at the ass end of next season.
Right.
Come on, really?
But you know what, Dom? Let's keep it a buck now. Let's keep it a buck. Did he really have that bad of a year?
Numbers wise, no. But this is this is the total opposite of what I preach all the time. Numbers don't lie. People lie with numbers.
Exactly.
In this case, the numbers are so skewed.
Yeah.
Just you had good numbers, but we couldn't get out our own way. You had good numbers, but those good numbers didn't come in the time we needed them to come. Right. It was like R. Jones comes off the bench and he's averaging 18 points, but he plays for Utah, who sucks. So every time Rodney Jones gets on the court, he's thinking, man, I got to show my ass. Somebody might want me. Really?
Right. Yeah.
No, there's a difference, where and you guys, I'm a red zone guy. I caught a couple of Jet games that were televised, but for the most part, I just catch them on. You guys are in New York. Y'all are seeing this firsthand.
We see it. Yeah, we seen it. Mm-hmm.
I would see, because red zone is good when like the teams get closer, they flip to that game, and I'm like, oh shit, they're flipping to the Jet game. That means we're in the red zone, and this moment he throws an interception. I'm like, I can't make this up, man. But these players now are like Sanders. I don't think he would even be a 3 receiver on the Jets.
Sanders,
that's the one thing we can say as Jets. We got some receivers. We ain't got nobody to throw the damn ball.
Right.
But we got some receivers, man. And they got youth. And this guy, again, it's the NFL, man. Hence the reason, if it wasn't for you guys, I probably would never watch this garbage.
Exactly.
It's weird every year.
Exactly.
Where's he gonna go, If you was his agent, where do you think he could go?
Well, I'm you know what? The funny thing is, they were saying that he was even mulling a retirement, if I'm not mistaken.
Good thought.
So yeah, maybe his
I
agent,
like that.
Yeah, exactly. He's no, he's a diva, but maybe he's coming down off of that diva image or whatnot, that diva mentality, and say, hey, you know what? It's pretty much over. You know what I'm saying? I can't go out there.
Happens to the best of them, all.
Yeah, exactly. I can't
Remember
go out
when what's the name bounced around from team to team, and we liked him because he was from a New York. Odell Beckham.
Oh,
it seemed like ever since that great catch he made, his career went kind of left. He hung in there, but he bounced from team to team, and
seeming like that. It's like, come on now, just hang him up, man.
I start wondering, like some of these shows and some of these stories you hear about NFL players and how they do their money. I be starting to think that shit must be true.
It's got to be.
You're willing to put limbs online at that age.
You know what, Dom? It's a lot. There's a lot that goes into that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's bad money management. You understand what I'm saying? And the lack of knowledge of how money works.
Too many baby mamas.
That too. Okay, that too. Because those child support payments is up there.
And they ain't gonna stop when you retire.
Exactly. It doesn't go down either. You
may be able to do a Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
Go in front of the judge and say, "Hey, baseball's on strike. I ain't getting paid."
You might be able to, but to even go that far,
right?
A lot. No. There's a hell of a lot. You understand what I'm saying? So, it's like, come on.
For the people listening in or listening the next day, we pass this along. Me and Mr. Jones had a conversation about this before the show started.
Yes.
There comes a time at your age you start to think, my better years are so far behind me. I just want to enjoy the rest of these years. They don't think like this.
No. Exactly. When you have to go out there and you're retired, the checks aren't coming in anymore, and maybe they are coming in.
They get a retirement check. Yeah, I can imagine.
They have to get a retirement check, but I'm saying it's not the millions and millions.
No, it ain't 10 million. No.
You know what I'm saying? It's not those type of payments that you're getting anymore. And when you have to pay, I'll just throw a figure out there. Let's say $20,000 per month for child support, and you're a guy like what's that guy's name? Antonio Cromartie.
He got 101 different kids, and him. Yeah, him.
What do you think it's going to look like? What do you think the future's going to look like for you? It's not going to be looking fantastic unless you made some other investments. Hopefully you did. Hopefully you did. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying?
And I will say this too, like the NFL don't throw anybody in front of a camera.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to have a little, your voice, your intellect. And I'm not saying football players are dumb, folks. Please don't go there with that. I'm just saying, if you ever notice, the NFL, regardless of color, position, they take pride in putting the mic in somebody's face. Unlike the NBA, the NBA just say, here, like we said, Doris Burke. Exactly. You know, hey, you got to name Rodney Jones. That's a good. Here you go, R. No, the NFL don't do that, man. They have, but you know what, R? I blame this shit on Tom Brady. Just everybody wanting to play till they're 62 years old, and I blame Brady for this shit, man. Why didn't you just call it a day?
You know what? We could blame Brady. There's been other
I'm
examples
joking,
out there. Okay. I'm about to say there's other examples out there too now. In the past and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Seeing guys play to like 40 something years old and all. I'm like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? But I get you. You know what I mean? I get you.
It's almost like having the conversation with people like at 62 years old, you could tap out on Social Security. Now, everybody will tell you, but if I wait till I'm 65, 67, you're going to get what? You're going to get $300, maybe $350 more a month. But you gave up, let's say, just use even numbers. You gave back $1,500 a month for 5 years that you're never going to get back. That's money you gave the government, and the government's hoping that at 67, they might only have to pay you for a few years.
Right.
So when you try to explain that to people, they're like, well, get a part-time job. But my gist behind it it's not because of what I did with my life. My gist behind it is, when do you want the rest of your life? Just like a football or baseball player. When do you want the rest of your life to kick in where you can say, hey, let's meet in Charlotte and see a Knicks game. And me and got plenty of time to do it. When do you want that part of your life to kick in?
Exactly.
That seems to be hard for these athletes. And in the avenue I'm talking right now, you're regular people that me and you know, regular Joes and James.
Exactly.
That think they're winning more 5 years from now. But you lost 5 years of I don't know.
It's tough.
I'm not no financial advisor.
I get it, but it's very difficult. It's very difficult, man.
And I understand where people are coming from, especially those that know me. Like, well, you get this and you get that and you did this and you did that. I'm not talking about money, people.
Right.
I'm talking about life. Like, what do you want your life to look like at 62, 63, 64? Unless you got, like you said before the show started, unless you're in some back room cooking up some shit to live the rest. No, that's not happening.
Listen, I can tell you what mine. Listen, as long as I have a closet I can live in. No, I'm dead serious. If I can have a closet, and I'm dead serious. As long as I have peace and tranquility, I am good.
I could remember.
That's all I want.
Yeah, we always go off. We always go off base, but I could remember thinking, man, if I could just do 20 years of this shit. And this is back in the day when we wasn't making a lot of money. I'm like, man, if I could do 20 years of this shit and maybe walk away with $1,500 a month, I'll still be young. I'll be in my late 30s, maybe early 40s, depending on what rank I retire at.
Right.
Not in my wildest. And again, these are conversations me and you have.
Yeah.
Not in my wildest dreams did I think I'd be getting twice as much money as I was getting when I was busting my ass dodging fucking bullets.
How about that?
But this is what I keep trying to say. It's like, what do you want to do? We have these what do you want to do with 62, 63, 64?
Yeah. Listen,
I figured it out. I'm not saying I'm a genius. I said, I know what I don't want to do.
What's that?
I think that's what helped me. I knew what I didn't want to do. more than what I wanted to do. It took me time, as you know. It took me time to figure out what the hell am I doing all this free time.
Right.
But when it hit me, that free time is my time. Oh shit,
Yeah.
I was like, man, money ain't even the issue no more. It's just that fucking peace and that tranquility.
Listen, it's key. It's key for me, brother.
Yeah, come on, man. I mean, again, we're not trying to give the audience we're really trying to educate you. If you're listening to the show, you might want to. But anyway.
Listen, exactly. You know what I mean? For sure.
Yeah, we went unhinged for a minute, but
that's okay.
That's what football does to you, because we started this conversation with Deebo with where are you going, how much money you think you're gonna get, and come on, man, know when to say when,
And and I think that's the whole key of this, knowing when to say when. Aaron Rodgers, Deebo, Sam, etc.
Even what's the name? Who's the quarterback that? Is this Carr that used to play for the Raiders, and I think he went to New Orleans.
Yeah. Derek Carr. Yeah, Derek Carr.
Come on, he's another one.
Yeah,
exactly. And what's the name's right behind him? He had a good second part, maybe little here, there. Russell Wilson.
Yes.
Come on, guys. If we could see the wheels coming off the cart, come on, man. First of all,
how could you? You know how they can't see it? It's ego.
Yeah, money.
I'm about to say greed. Exactly.
Greed. Yeah, money's greed.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's not like that kid that the Bears gave up on, Fields. Yo, the kid was balling before Russell Wilson came back.
Yeah, he was. Exactly.
He was balling so good. I'm thinking, why don't the Jets try to get this mother? It ain't like we got some quarterback in the wing that's ready to take the helm. Let's try to finagle it. But then again, will Pittsburgh wake up and decide which one they want? Because we had the conversation with Russell Wilson when he was with Denver. He went to Denver. He was the coach didn't like him. Whatever. He goes to Pittsburgh. He was let's let the cat out the bag, man. The Steelers haven't won a playoff game since Moses parted the Red Sea.
You got that right.
It's out there now. It's like
you ain't never lie. Exactly.
Nobody's saying your coach sucks. He's a great coach. But y'all ain't won a playoff game since. Shit, come on, now.
That's gotta say something. That's gotta say something right there.
And it all happened as much as some people didn't like Big Ben. It's like they had so many eggs in his basket that when he took his basket and went home, they didn't know what to do.
Exactly.
How many quarterbacks have they gone through since Ben Roethlisberger?
Oh, you know what? But here's the funny thing about that. You bring that up. It's still funny. It's kind of like should I say oxymoron? What I mean by that is, as you just said, Dom, how many quarterbacks have they gone through since Roethlisberger retired? But yet they still keep winning.
Yeah, but not to cut you off, here's the weird thing. When we say winning, does winning mean a winning season, regular season? Because we just said
regular season.
They ain't won a playoff game since Moses parted the Red Sea.
Right.
So yes, while your regular season record keeps you above dirt, your goal to make the playoffs and move on that hasn't worked. I forgot what they said. When's the last year they won a playoff game, man?
It's been a long time. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
And now at some point is the fact that people in the NFL circles and even outside the NFL circles, but they're watchers at NFL, they hold the organization to a certain standard of stability and whatnot, despite their results in the postseason. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe that has something to do with it. Perhaps that's why they haven't cut this guy despite him winning in the regular season. I mean, at some point he's got to be called to the carpet. Okay, you need to take this team to a higher level. We need to see a playoff victory. We need to see 2 playoff victories. You understand?
I thought I had it on too. It is. It's 2016.
Okay. Oh, okay. 2016.
That's 9 years, 9 seasons.
I mean, that's a while. It's a little bit. It's a little bit. But at the same
Right,
time,
but you
but
nailed it. They stay a good team.
Mm-hmm.
So can we equate the Steelers to the Yankees? A good team, win 100 games every year, and get knocked out in the second round of the playoffs. At least the Yankees get to the second round. Pittsburgh don't get out the first round.
But you know what? Overall, there are some similarities.
Yes, historical franchises.
Yes,
franchises that have won.
Yes,
franchises that stay above water.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Steelers, that's been a long. The Jets have won a playoff game before that.
Exactly.
I think the Jets' last playoff win was probably 2020, maybe with Sanchez. Remember the Jets? Even the Jets went to back-to-back AFC conference games.
I think it was before that, Dom.
Yeah,
I think it was before 20.
Mm-hmm. That's a long time, to say we're a great. We are. We understand you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. I understand, especially I'm a Yankee fan. But
yes, that model of consistency. That's what it is, and that's in regards to the regular season.
Maybe Deebo would go to the Steelers. I mean,
yeah,
who knows? Because you know what? You keep saying it. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but they stay relevant.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll get a piece here, a piece there. But I think the AFC is better than the NFC.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that.
I'm just saying. So they're into. Matter of fact, their division is a beast. So
Cincinnati,
it's hard for you to make the playoffs,
right?
And then it's twice as hard for you to win a playoff game.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what. We remember the days where the NFC were the tough guys, and
oh yeah, for sure.
That has switched, man. The AFC may be a little more finesse, but they're a lot better. The three best teams in the AFC are better than any NFC team. Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore. They're better than any team in the NFC, to include the Eagles. The Eagles hit pay dirt with all of their moves and the Saquon-isms, but give me three teams in the NFC that are better than them three teams that I just mentioned. We'll give you the Eagles because they won the chip.
Okay.
But that's a hell of a trio. And then you got the Steelers. You got, these up-and-coming teams in the AFC. If the NFC is like hit or miss, if it ain't 49ers.
I'm about to say, if it ain't San Fran, if it ain't Philly.
LA had their shot in the dark for 5 minutes.
And that's a tough team right there, too. That's another tough team. I don't discount the LA Rams for nothing.
And they're willing to let what's his name walk, ain't they?
Exactly.
Who's going to be their quarterback? I don't want to get stuck on the NFL all night, but
no. Exactly.
Are they really contemplating letting this guy go?
Well, here's the thing. The guy is he? I think he's either 37 or will be 37. You're getting a great amount of money already, and you want $50 million a year.
Ooh, he wants $50 million.
$50 million, Dom.
Wait a minute, On. He wants $50 million.
$50 million
at his age.
At his age, 37.
God bless him.
Which is why, again, they're like, okay, we gotta resolve this somehow. Are we gonna keep you? Maybe we can get you to lower your price tag a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, $50 million, brother.
Okay? A year.
And mind you, now I've seen Stafford play this past season. He played pretty damn good. I gotta give it. Played pretty goddamn good. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, okay, he's a scary quarterback too.
They came back when everybody thought they were dead.
He let them back. He did his thing. When he has the right pieces, like this guy, Luka, Nikola, and Cooper Kupp, and what's the tight end?
I heard they're willing to let him walk.
Who?
Kupp.
Well, I can see why. It wouldn't be shocking to me.
Yeah.
But again, $50 million.
And before we go any further, I just heard it today in the car. What do we call that? The salary cap has gone up $22 million per team.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now you want $50 million. I mean, that negates that pay raise.
Come on. Exactly.
And I heard the Giants were.
Yeah.
Maybe kind of.
They are. Matter of fact, this was one of the things we could just talk about.
Oh, there we go.
Talk about this briefly. The Giants, they placed a high priority on monitoring this situation with Stafford and whatnot. Now, I think I said it in the text to you guys. A Matthew Stafford to Malik Neighbors connection, because Malik has got it. He impressed me in his rookie season. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, I don't know, having a better Matthew Stafford on the Giants, to me, is an upgrade for the Giants at quarterback. Obviously, even at 37. You know what I'm saying? If you can get 2 years,
$50 billion.
Oh, I know. It's a lot. It's a lot. That I get it. It's a lot. Sometimes.
Let me ask you the question again, R.
Sure, brother. Please.
Is that one position and $50 million? Does that make you a contender? Or you just pissing money away?
I would say you probably pissing money away.
So try to be relevant. This is what I don't like about sports, and we grown men have. There's a difference between relative and competitive.
Yes, there is.
If you want to be relative, yes, by all means, go pay them $50 million. But are you better than?
No.
Are you better than the Redskins?
No, hell no.
Are you better than the Eagles?
No,
definitely. You might not even be better than the Cowboys.
You might not. You might. You just
know,
might.
It ain't the NFC least no more as it was a few years ago when the winner of that division was under 500 and went to the playoffs and got a home field game.
Some days don't exist.
It ain't like that no more. Sorry.
Some days don't exist, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They don't exist right now. No, absolutely.
$50 million, and that's going to get you – we can't even – it ain't even like basketball and baseball. We get Rodney Jones. He's going to put fannies in the seats. People go to football games. They don't care how shitty your team is. They go to the football game.
Got rabid fan.
So that's not a measuring stick.
No.
But I just asked, for $50 million.
Yeah.
Does that make you the third best team in the NFC East?
Yeah.
I don't know, because is he as much as I hate to say it, he's not better than Prescott.
Oof. Yeah. Ooh.
He's not better than McDaniels. He ain't better than Jalen Hurts. So you got $50 million for the fourth best quarterback in your division. Not your conference, your division. Really? Okay. Go on now. I hope the Giants rethink this shit. But then again, I'm not a Giants fan. Not that I don't like them.
Exactly.
I just think is so desperate. Like the Jets were 2 years ago.
Yeah, brother.
The Jets were so desperate, they was willing to give Aaron Rodgers the key to the car.
Yeah.
Not knowing he would never get in the driver's seat, but
Exactly.
That's not a good look, artist.
Yeah. I have to agree.
No, sorry.
Goal, just like I said, is the goal to be relevant, or is it to be competitive? Exactly. So we're gonna.
And I'm like you, I like Stafford. He's he's played good with. Remember, this guy was putting up monster numbers in Detroit.
Exactly.
And they couldn't get out their own way.
No.
So he got a breather. Went to LA, won a chip.
Yep. Exactly.
But now $50 million. Come on now.
I feel you.
Come on now.
It's crazy, brother. It's crazy.
Let's
talk about this other New York team for a few before we get to the NBA and whatnot. So apparently there's this poll from the NFLPA.
Oh God.
And not only did the players around the league allegedly vote and say that they are the worst ownership, the New York Jets, but the own Jet players, from what I understand, voted for that as well. That says a lot right there. That says a lot. Again, it starts with the top. It starts with the top of the Jets. And the team, I like the Jets as well. They have a good squad.
Yeah.
That's what it tells me. They're talented, not just offensively, but on both sides of the ball. They're very talented. It's a certain disconnect. I don't know what it is. Or maybe that's just what it is. What I just said, the disconnect, man. But it starts from the top. You understand?
Yeah.
Function. You're a fan. You see it. You see it because again, there's no reason why this team doesn't have a better record than what they have what they had currently.
Yeah, you're right,
They have players on that squad on both sides of the ball. It makes zero sense to how they wound up this season. You understand? Yes, we know about the Aaron Rodgers deal, whatnot, but even so, they still had a great team. I shouldn't say great, but they had a competitive
Very good.
team. Yeah, they had a very good team.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at the record, you wouldn't think that.
Right. And you know what's scary? Again, I always say we had these conversations. Remember we used to have the conversations with, damn, if the Jets would concentrate on just a little more on the offensive side of the ball, we might go somewhere, because they was always a good defensive team.
Always.
They still are. But they added so many pieces offensively, and here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are. Now, was it all Aaron Rodgers' fault? No. Sometimes you didn't put the right peg in the right hole, whatever the case may be. But you are right,
exactly.
To have that much talent on both sides of the ball, and be that dysfunctional,
it amazes me, man.
Sorry, man.
Is it that, like I said, I use that word disconnect, man. And again, I blame the guy on top. So it's not surprising. It's not surprising that Woody Johnson, the ownership, would get an F from players league, not just on your team, his team that he owns, but league-wide players saying the same thing. Now,
when we could put him ahead of James Dolan,
that's a lot. And now here's the thing with this new thing being revealed or whatnot. It makes me wonder, free agents, maybe some premier free agents, maybe some guys in the draft that may not want to come here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This is a huge effect, Dom. To me, this is a huge effect, because again, they're like, oh wait, why would I want to come here? It's toxic over there. You know what I'm saying? Why would I want to give my prime years to an organization like this and whatnot, and not compete and have a bad record and all the negativity that surrounds this organization? This is not a good look at all.
No.
This is not a good look.
And we had these conversations.
Yeah.
You know, we had the conversation when his son said, "Oh, don't go get this guy because he's got a bad rating in Madden."
Come on. You're a laughing stock at that point.
Yeah, come on.
You're a laughing stock. You're a laughing stock.
And you know what? I tried not to, but there's cases you actually listen to these people. Right. And when they were saying, you know what, has he eclipsed James Dolan as the worst owner in New York? He been eclipsed James Dolan.
Exactly.
People haven't noticed that James, and I always said this about Dolan, as much as people didn't like him, to me, only me as a fan, I always thought James Dolan just hired the wrong people to do the wrong job.
Yeah, well.
He was not afraid to spend money. He brought people in, and they just didn't work out. You don't have 6 coaches in 7 years by accident.
Exactly.
No, that's a mismanagement of personnel, coaching, players. But with the Jets on, man, you can't tell me that you son of a bitches have not been in a playoff game longer than anybody in football.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not a win, an appearance.
An appearance, exactly.
Really? Come on. No. And they finally got over that hump bar. You know, hey, guys, we know we're a great defensive team. They went out and got wide receivers, running backs. I just wish, even with the Johnson news, that they would have had I'll even say this, I brought him up before. If they would have had Derek Carr, they might have fared better than Aaron Rodgers.
Interesting, Dom.
Yeah.
You know what I wish, honestly, and I said this to you guys in our group chat, I really just wish that Rodgers did not get injured that first year.
Right.
I really wanted to see, because there was so much optimism. You had the pieces in place. Well, almost all pieces, because I didn't like what's his name, that offensive coordinator, Hackett. Yeah, I didn't like that guy. But you almost had everything in place where it could have been. I'm not saying the Super Bowl at the end of the rainbow.
Right.
I'm not saying that, but it could have been a very competitive year, and we would have seen more wins than losses in regards to them.
I still always had the fear with Rodgers that he always had to be bigger than the game. You know, and we talked about that too when he was with the Packers. Remember? If they would only get me better players. You won 2-3 MVPs, a Super Bowl. You took all the money, so they didn't have a hell of a lot of money to go get you what you needed.
Exactly.
You made the playoffs every year, but
Mm-hmm.
all he did was like, I ain't gonna
Complain.
say bitch. Yeah, complain.
He complained.
But you had enough to get you all of this.
Of course.
And
Of
you
course.
still see, that's what I mean. To me, he always put himself
Above.
not even above the game, especially above the team.
Above the team.
You know, it was Aaron Rodgers and R. Jones and Dominic Donato.
Right.
We would never be on that same pedestal.
Oh, no.
And that's a killer. R. I'm serious. That's why I said if the Jets would have had even a Derek Carr, you know, a Justin Fields, you know, a mobile quarterback that could run. Let's not get it twisted. Justin Fields could throw the ball.
Right.
He just was in a bad situation in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
The glamour boy that they got, Khalid, how did he fare? Yeah, I'll get back with me on that one. He didn't fare much better than Justin Fields.
Right.
So, again, you get a guy like Aaron Rodgers. I know what you're saying, Arf. He would have played that year. But you know what I say? If ifs and ands were pots and pans, the world would be a kitchen. So, I just didn't have a lot of...
Okay.
Me and my son, who you actually met one time.
Okay, yes.
Me and him were flipping when they got Rodgers. We was like, this motherfucker, why? I'm like, you're right, Dominic. If they'd have got him 7 years ago, don't this remind you of the Brett Favre fiasco that? Yeah, it does.
Yes, it did.
And how did that turn out?
Not well. We already know that.
Come on, man.
I mean, I get you. In that aspect, I understand where you're coming from. Totally. I get it.
Yeah, come on. Nobody's bigger than the game, man.
No. Agreed. All right. Well, that being said, let's get down to little NBA. Yeah. These last two is pretty good. I like this. Luka to the Lakers, DeAndre Hunter to the Cavaliers, Jimmy Butler to the Warriors, and DeAaron Fox to the Spurs. Now, which trade do you feel will have the most impact? I know who I feel.
Who you got,
I got DeAndre Hunter.
So do I.
Yeah.
Bingo. Yes, sir. And I will tell you why when you're done.
But let me tell you something. This guy, man, you used the terminology, Dom, not too long ago. Swiss Army knife. That's what this guy. Listen, I like the consistency of the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have this pretty much the same group of players that have played together for a couple of years or whatnot. I like this coach. I've always loved Kenny Atkinson. You understand? I know the Bishop is like, he's like a me against the world kind of coach. Okay, if he is, what's wrong with that? What is wrong with that? To me, that's saying that we're playing together. We're gonna bond together. We're gonna go out here. We're gonna put out our best effort, and we're gonna win. We're gonna put out our best effort defensively and offensively, and we stand to win games. And they're following that model. This guy coming aboard from Atlanta, he just fits the mold. He fits right in perfectly. You talked about a square hole and a round peg. This guy is the round peg in a round hole. He fits them perfectly. He's lean. He's defensive. He can score. Athletic. He can score as well. I mean, listen. When I first saw Cleveland win the first 15 games, I'm like, whatever. That's what my thinking was. I'm not gonna lie. I was not impressed because I was like, at some point, the wheels are gonna fall off the bus, and it is what it is. Not saying that they were going to be a lottery team, but they're not going to continue the streak. They have impressed the hell out of me thus far this season. And getting this guy, man, I think the league needs to be on notice right now, to tell you honestly. You know what I'm saying? They need to be on notice for this Cleveland team. That's what I think.
Well, I'll tell you, like I said earlier in the season, and like I told a million Knicks fans, and I'm one of them.
Yes, sir.
I'm not making Kenny Atkinson out to be the next Marlon the Magician. No, I will put Kenny Atkinson in the boat of a Phil Jackson, who inherited this roster. And this is what I told people, and they laughed at me. Do you know that your core four, Garland, Mitchell, what's the Afro guy's name? Allen, and Mobley have been together for 4 or 5 years.
That's what I'm talking about.
They decided to say, you know what? We're going to run it back. We're going to run it back. Because guess what?
Mm-hmm.
It took the Celtics 6 to 7 years with Tatum and Brown.
Mm-hmm.
It took Milwaukee a million years with Middleton and Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in them cases, they was the fortunate group that got Drew Holiday.
Right.
The Bucks had Middleton and Giannis forever. They got Holiday, won the chip that year.
Right.
The Celtics had Tatum and Brown. They got Holiday, won the chip that year. So these coaches, come on, R. You think a decade ago they wouldn't have won a championship with the Celtics? Really?
Right.
If he didn't step on it, he would have won a championship.
Me
and you could have won a championship if they happened to go that far with Cleveland.
For sure.
They did it right. And you know what made it even more ironic? They kept their core four, and they got guys like Strus.
Yes.
Now DeAndre Hunter.
Yep.
They went and got the little pieces
yes.
that make up a big difference.
Yes.
But their core four, it's hard for people to believe that Donovan Mitchell has been on Cleveland for 4 years already,
Mm-hmm.
So that means he's been to the playoffs for 4 years with this team. Mm-hmm. Who didn't think Mobley was going to be what he is? I know I did.
Yeah.
I know I did. I said it all the time. This kid hasn't even reached his peak
yet.
yet.
He really hasn't. No.
And wait till he gets to, come on, again.
Level.
They took the chance. They rolled the dice and said, you know what? Ain't what so many times we're going to knock on the door and somebody don't answer.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, we're going to kick the door down.
Yeah.
Because they kept their core. You know what, you look at the champions in the last few years. Boston, Denver, Milwaukee. All of these guys kept their core players together. Denver, Joker, Murray, Gordon, Porter Jr.
Right.
They went and got pieces, lost pieces, whatever, but they never messed with their core four. And this is what I keep trying to tell Knicks fans. Tell me who on the Knicks has been on the Knicks. Who was the Knicks core players that been on this team for 4 years? I'll wait. I'll wait because we decided I mean, that's going to be the last subject. So I'm not going to, but I'm with you. I'm going with Hunter to the Cavs. And here's the weird thing. They had the best record in basketball before they got him.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that
Come
crazy?
on.
Isn't that's insane right there?
And you know what? I was trying to look it up when you was talking. I heard he's in the starting lineup now.
Yeah, well.
So that means they got him and Garland in the backcourt?
Yeah, that's
crazy. They can't.
Yeah,
he can't be starting because that means Donovan Mitchell would be sitting. No, I don't know who told me that lie.
I was like,
I think I heard it on NBA radio this morning. Okay. No, that ain't happening.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you what, Art, if he would have been with them at the beginning of the year, he might be up for 6th man of the year on that team.
He could, for that team, exactly. There's no question about it.
Yeah. Don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted for a minute, man. Again, I think this one, this could be a problem for them.
Like, right. Now the pundits will tell you Luka to the Lakers. Because they're desperate to see the Lakers do good with LeBron. But
of course. That of course.
You know what's weird? Now that we're on the phone.
Tickets.
Yeah, now that we're on together.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying, what the hell did Dallas do? Why ain't nobody saying, why did Dallas do this? What did Dallas know that R. Jones, Dominic Donato, TNT, NBA TV, what did they know that we didn't know? You just don't up and trade a player like that for no apparent reason. Now, we all heard the rumblings, his work ethic, his physical condition. We're not willing to go back contract. And people will say, well, he's only 26, 25. But you know what, Art? He's been a pro for like 10 years already.
Exactly.
He was playing pro ball when he was 15.
Right.
So he's got some wear and tear. And he's not Joker. Joker looks like he's just out there but busting everybody's ass. And he's pretty durable.
For sure, Dom.
But I think Dallas knew something, Art.
They did.
And I guess at the end of the day, R got with Dom and said, yo, man, we ain't investing no 400, 500 million in this character. No.
I'm sorry. I'm a believer in that.
Me too, R. I'm sorry. I went at it with Frank Isola. I was like, Frank, I love you, man. You took care of me and all that. But we don't know something that Dallas knows. We can sit here and get all these experts on the radio, but Dallas knew something, and they was like, and you know what the weirdest part is, not to cut you off?
Mm-hmm.
The Mavericks got rid of Luka and kept Kyrie Irving.
Ain't that something?
Who would have thought that shit would have happened 3 years ago? Really? That really made me scratch my head, I was like, something? And then everybody's saying, well, he took them to the finals. Last year was a fluke season for the whole NBA. Let's not get over ourselves.
Let's not get it twisted.
Because they only won one game. They went up against a young team in Minnesota to get to the championship.
Right.
So they wouldn't have got back to no finals this year. I don't give a shit what these pundits say. Luka is this, he's that. No. Well, he's a good ball player. Don't get me wrong. I ain't taking nothing away from him.
Right.
But I said it for years. He's the white version of James Harden.
James Harden, exactly.
Dribble. Maybe he'll change with the Lakers because LeBron's on his team.
He ain't gonna be having that. He ain't gonna be having
right.
That. He ain't gonna be having
that. When I heard this shit, my son called me.
Mm-hmm.
Dad, this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Dominic, me and you ain't privy to what Dallas knows. Yeah, but we already heard the stories off for how many years now. This guy comes to training camp looking like the Michelin Man.
Exactly.
You know,
and not for nothing, Dom. Not to cut you off, but not for nothing. They got a nice little take back. They got a nice little take. They really. I'm talking about Dallas.
Right. Here's the weird thing. Not to cut you off.
Yes, sir.
Slowly but surely, the NBA is going back to having big dudes on their team.
Exactly.
And Dallas got a handful of them if they can only get healthy.
Right.
If they can only get healthy. You saw what Anthony Davis did that first half with Dallas.
Exactly.
He gave you a calling card like, y'all think I was done. Okay.
Yeah. And
here we go.
He's back to a position he loves to play. Power forward, not the 5.
Exactly. Just like trying to explain to my bizarre-ass Knicks fans, don't tell me Karl Anthony Towns is a center. Karl Anthony Towns will tell you he's not a center. I don't got to tell you. Ask him. But Anthony Davis, you're right. He goes. You know what somebody said? It was supposed to be a joke, but it was kind of like stingy. Man, Anthony Davis kept saying they need a big. Now you got a whole bunch of them, just not on the Lakers. If they can get healthy, I ain't saying they're winning the chip.
No, but
I don't think the Lakers could beat them.
Nah. Oh hell no, nah.
The Lakers ain't got no size.
Nah.
They got no size. Don't get excited. Don't listen to ESPN. In the last 10 games, the Lakers have been playing the best defense in the league. What happened to the other 50 games?
Right.
Stop with that last 8 game bullshit.
Stop with that bull crap. Exactly.
They don't have no size,
No.
And they're not a good defensive team. They're not a good perimeter defensive team. And then you add Luka Doncic to it. Like, this guy will never be in the conversation of NBA Defensive Player of the Year. We know that.
You better believe it.
But Anthony Davis will.
Yeah. Hello.
And I don't know. When I first heard it, I said, I think Dallas got the better end of this. Everybody laughed at me. I'm like,
I wouldn't have laughed. I wouldn't have laughed because I agree. I agree. Okay. I was like, yo, Dallas is deep. You know what I'm saying? And when they're healthy, you get E back, you get the other Derek Lively back, you get this one back. Yo, bro, PJ Washington, they got a nice little squad there.
That pick and pop with Kyrie and Anthony Davis. That going to the Lord.
Nice little squad there.
And what four in the Western Conference is going to guard Anthony Davis? I'll wait.
I'm about to say
I'll wait. I'll try to think of one before tomorrow, but right.
But I don't think you'll come up with one either. I don't think you'll come up with one, man. To be honest with you,
because you know what, half these guys are like the Kawhis, and these guys are like almost part-time players now. It's funny because my boy texted me this morning. I haven't talked on NBA radio in a while.
Okay.
Frank texted me. He said, Dom, come on, man, you got to tell me what you think about what's going on. I was like, all right, give me a second. So I'm in my car. I call. I said, you know what, guys? Y'all killed me with the Doncic trade. I'm done. I'm overdosed on this shit. Please let it go. I said, but I do got something to say about that Paul George guy. Paul George grabs a mic, and he's going to announce to the world that he's going to stop doing his podcast and concentrate on basketball. I said, he's saying this shit, Frank, like he's ending the war in Ukraine. Like he's curing hunger throughout the country. He giving up a podcast to concentrate on his sport that's paying him millions of dollars.
Exactly.
Now you wonder why fans are fed up with the NBA.
Exactly.
It's bigger than just them taking 3-pointers, Frank. Me and you had this conversation before. With all the nonsense that goes on in the NBA, now this guy grabs a mic and says, game, 58? I'm going to concentrate on playing basketball.
58 games.
How can you even grab a mic and say that shit?
I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that.
First of all, I know he's going to the ATM machine with a ski mask on because he robbed the hell out of Philly.
Exactly.
How did they give this guy the contract he had? Speaking of Moses part in the Red Sea, that's probably close to the last time Paul George played more than 60 games.
Probably.
But you emptied the bank for this shit, and you already had Joel Embiid on your team? Didn't we have, I hate saying this all the time, we had that conversation when they got Paul George. I mean, got 2 injured Warriors on their team.
Exactly.
Really? And you gave this guy a max contract.
Max contract, bro. Ridiculous.
And he's missed 28 games already.
Of course. What else is new?
But he was doing a podcast every other day.
Exactly.
But then he grabbed the mic today like, this is, world news. I'm going to stop doing my podcast to concentrate on basketball. And here's the funny part, concentrate on playing basketball and bring a championship to Philadelphia.
Yeah, okay.
Bruh, you're not even a playing team.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if they had a game tonight and if I was in attendance, I would make sure to have a battery or 2 and throw it at his child, hit him in the head with the battery.
Thank God they were playing in New York yesterday.
Yeah, because I would have. I definitely.
You know how Philly fans are.
Exactly.
Or you want to tell us game 54, 55 that you want to play ball? Really? Oh, hell no.
Exactly.
Bruh, we bombed Santa Claus.
Ridiculous.
This is Philadelphia, George.
Exactly.
This ain't Indiana. This ain't LA Clippers, Oklahoma City. This is Philadelphia. We have no respect,
brother,
for anything.
Exactly. Ridiculous. Don't make no damn sense. Now I gotta tell you, which trade do you think will have the least impact? And that's an easy one for me. And no shot for Wemby and whatnot, but that's the one.
For now,
exactly. That's
long term.
It's a good one.
That might be the best because DeAaron Fox is still young.
Yes, he is.
I'm just worried about this Wemby guy. Here we are again.
As far as the leanness,
everybody says, "Oh, he'll put on weight." We said that for 17 years with Kevin Durant. But Wemby ain't Kevin Durant.
Right.
I don't care what you say. He's always been one of my favorite players, so I'm going to be a little biased for him.
Okay.
We ain't seen nobody like Kevin Durant. That size shooting like that. Wemby's not in that ballpark. And I hate the way we try to ordain these guys the next greatest thing.
So early.
Come on, man. Wembanyama is not better than Karl Anthony Towns. He ain't better than Anthony Davis. He ain't better than Joker. He ain't better than probably half of the centers in the NBA.
Hey, Dom, you can't tell some people that.
No, of course not. We sell these narratives. This is what I mean about the NBA and their gimmicks and their narratives. Come on, man. Stop. But for that case, long term, if that bony kid stays healthy, come on, man. We watched DeAaron Fox. I would venture to say he's still the fastest guy with a basketball in his hand. He's a modern day version of John Wall.
I would say him and probably they tied. Him and Maxey.
Yeah, Maxey gets up and down too. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, that might be, I don't know. I hate the Spurs, but I think, that's the least likeliest one right now.
Right now, exactly.
Jimmy Butler to the Warriors, it seems like a hot thing right now because they won, I think, 5 in a row or 5 out of 6.
Something like that.
But
I don't know. I'm
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah. There you go.
When's the glass slipper going to come off with him?
Exactly. I think we're seeing the last hurrah right now, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. And they haven't really played no like right now they're beating the Magic by 7. The Magic. I mean, and Jimmy Butler got 3 points.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
Right, exactly.
I don't think that's going to be no I mean, again, They gave this dude $50 million a year for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
So basically, at the end of the day, he snubbed his nose, got out of Miami, and got his way again. He did it. He did it in Chicago. He did it in Minnesota. He did it in Philadelphia. He's done it in Miami, and
exactly.
I don't think he'll have a chance to do it again because I think he'll be maybe 37, 38 after this contract.
Yes, he will. I don't think that's going to be it.
Yeah, I think this is it for him.
I'm
not saying he's not a good ball player. I'm just saying
he is.
I don't think I could deal with all that extra stuff. And I'm big again. The Aaron Rodgers. I'm bigger in the game. I don't like you no more, so I want to go away.
Well,
that shit's got to get. That's another thing again with the NBA. That's let's keep it a buck. We're talking NBA. Right. There are a litany of reasons that their viewership is down. Don't give me that shit. People are tired of seeing 3-pointers. That's part of it. Don't get me wrong.
It's part of it.
But they're tired of the Paul Georges and they're tired of the Jimmy Butlers who talk their way off a team. They're tired of Joel Embiid. They're tired of so many other things. They're tired of all the gimmicks in the NBA. I had this conversation with my boys on the Bleed Blue show yesterday.
Okay.
Everything they've done has been a gimmick.
Yeah,
the NBA Sippy Cup. Do you know every game in the Sippy Cup except the final game is just another game in the regular season? It goes towards your record. They added Sippy Cup to it to make you think we're doing something groundbreaking. Again, too many gimmicks, not enough concentration on the game. You done went through 5 different litanies of shit to do at the All-Star game instead of just saying East versus West.
That's it.
You know, sometimes bigger and newer isn't better. Come on, man.
Brother.
You tried everything under the sun.
Amen.
Toss up, picking players, and
yeah.
Now you got guys that ain't even All-Stars in the All-Star game. Really? Come on. Knock it off. Knock it off, Commissioner Bobblehead. Stop it.
Please. And with that being said, let's move on to our final topic.
Uh-oh.
Now, this is a tough one. Yeah, it's when you're, let me just start off by saying this. When you're 0-7 against the top teams in the league, i.e., OKC, Boston, who's the other one?
Cleveland.
Cleveland, thank you very much. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, when the season started, you know what? Even before when the season started, we made these acquisitions, okay, and we tried to have matchups for the Boston Celtics with their team, their big 3, their big 4, and it hasn't been well. Let's just say that it hasn't been well, and that's an understatement. From day one, I have noticed, specifically in games against Boston, the games are typically over after the first quarter.
Yeah,
pretty much, because every game I've seen with them against Boston, they're down double digits, high double digits as well, like 17 at first quarter. I'm not gonna lie to you. Even though I do watch it, there's times I'm like, okay, I could turn this because I know what's gonna happen, barring some miraculous comeback, which hasn't happened yet. I just don't get it. And you mentioned Cleveland and Boston; those are 2 of the teams that you got to get by, and it's not gonna happen. It's not looking good. It is not looking good.
If you get out the first round, you're playing Boston in the second round.
Exactly. It's not looking good, man.
Here's the sad thing. All right, I'm a Knicks fan.
Yes.
And it hit me the other day. It is a very strange case in NBA history that your 2 best offensive players are your 2 worst defensive players. That's Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson.
Right.
They take these guys out the game in the fourth quarter for defensive purposes.
Right.
Really?
Really.
And I go back, and I'm not going to get into the trade of Randall and DiVincenzo. I'm not going to do that. It pains me to think that Cleveland ran it back, and here they are.
Right.
We decided to once again go for offense over defense, and here we are. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns is a hell of a scorer, but he spends too much time on the perimeter. Hence the reason his big 7-foot ass will barely get you a couple of offensive rebounds because he's never down low. his offensive rebounds will be balls that bounce off the rim.
Right.
And he happened to get there. But he's not your prototype. Come on, I said this a million times. The Minnesota Timberwolves bankrolled their future to get Rudy Gobert to play center so Karl Anthony Towns didn't have to. So
Dom, let me bring our brother, the Snowman. How you doing, sir? Welcome to Untitled, my friend. Good to have you on.
Hey, good to be on, man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you.
Of course, man. As always, you always have an open invite. It's just that your schedule, you're doing big things. So I'm honored.
My schedule is nuts. Okay. You've known for a few years now, I keep a nutty schedule.
For sure, brother. So I just brought you in. We're just talking about the Knicks. What did the New York Knicks need to do to reach the next level of championship contention? And Don was just talking about, how we brought in offense for defense again. You understand? And it set us back. It set us back.
Yeah, man. Again.
I mean, you there's so much the Knicks need to do to reach the level that Red Holtzman reached in 1970 and 1973. But the simplest thing they need to do is to play defense.
Now, I got to say this, though, man, not to cut you off. I can't go against what I've been saying for years, that the NBA has become an offensive-driven league. Nobody gives two shits about playing defense.
Right.
It's who can score 131st. It's like a street game. The first 1 to 21 wins, and the game is over. Nobody cares about defense. But to Snow's point, you got to at least play it. Nobody's saying you got to be the 1970-73 Knicks, but you got to play defense, and you got to play it in some kind of spurt to keep guys. This week alone, we've seen 2 20-point leads in the fourth quarter evaporate, and the team losing that was up by 20-something points. Nobody cares about defense no more, guys.
I saw a game a couple weeks ago where one team was up by 24 and they wound up losing by 21.
It's the NBA, Snow. I hate to say it. I've been saying it for years. Nobody cares about defense. Them days of, I love when people say, like, when we talk about, let's say the Knicks, for example. Oh, I thought OG Anunoby was a two-way player. Them days are gone, guys. Let's just keep it a buck. Those days of the maybe even, I say the last good one might have been Kawhi Leonard. And after that, I give you a chance. Who's it going to be? Nobody's doing that.
It was Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here jamming out because my wife is playing some classic music in the back. She's playing some classic rock, and the vibe is just all the way up above the roof right now.
I got to ask you a question though, Snow. How you been health wise?
Yes,
getting better.
Oh, thank God.
Getting better. I had a recent stay in the hospital, but I am home. I'm getting back to walking. I'm getting my legs stretched back out, and
nice. Thank God for that.
I am 2 years in remission from stage 4 pancreatic cancer. 2 years this month.
Right.
So every day I get to be in front of this microphone and talk to you guys or spend time with my family.
Yes, sir.
I'm above ground and I'm happy.
Because you know as well as I do, so you probably know better. I mean, actually, one of my dearest friends actually was considered my brother. That's one of the hardest cancers to beat.
It is.
It's like I forgot what the percentage rate of survival. I mean, it got my brother. It got Alex Trebek. It's one of the hardest cancers.
Cancer took my parents. Took my dad in 2007. Took my mom in 2021. I wasn't supposed to survive because my wife is more of a research maven than I, and she told me this startling fact: only 3% of men survive stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah, the survival rate is not great.
So to be among that 3%,
it's a blessing.
It is.
It's a true blessing. Thank God for that.
I'm sorry I brought it up, Snow. I didn't mean to get.
Don't be. This is one thing I'm an advocate for.
I hear that.
This is one thing.
Sure.
Look, 3 things I'm an advocate for: being yourself, men's rights, and beating the hell out of cancer. Okay.
Yep.
I kicked cancer in the ass, but I didn't do it alone.
Right.
Because you guys were with me. My family was with me. My wife was visiting every day while I was in ICU recovering 2 years ago. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that I had the surgery in 22. I can't believe that this April 4th, as a matter of fact, 3 years since that surgery, and I'm still kicking.
And I got to admit, I didn't say a lot, but I watched everything he put on social media.
Oh yeah.
I never responded.
Okay.
I never, all I can remember is this guy just coming in out of nowhere, running his mouth on our show, then he disappears for a month, and then he shows up again. But everything he put on there, I watched every step of it. That's why I asked him, how's he doing?
Yeah, for sure.
Because I haven't seen him putting up.
Hey, listen,
in a while.
They will have to bury me, period, before I stop. But
you missed our baseball segment, though, Snow.
I have to catch up on baseball, okay?
Oh, Lord.
And speaking of baseball, I had the pleasure, since you're wearing a Yankees hat, I'll give you this. I had the pleasure recently of interviewing the fellow who's going to take over John Sterling's spot as the radio voice of the New York Yankees, Mr. Dave Sims.
Nice.
Wow.
Very, very dear friend, also a cancer survivor. So when they go play, when they go to the South Side and play the White Sox, I plan to go see him and shake his hand and give him a hug in person.
Wow.
I hear that. Wow.
Yeah. Speaking of baseball, Snow, I got, I think, 5 or 6 stadiums left. I'm not going to Toronto, so I could scratch that one off.
Why aren't you going to the Sky Dome? Why ain't you hitting the Sky Dome, man?
I'm about to say why.
Yeah, but because
why not?
Here's the embarrassing thing, Snow, and R could attest to this. 2 of the 5 stadiums I have not visited are the 2 in New York City, my hometown.
Exactly.
That is a stomach ache, man. I'm like, how did this shit happen?
So you haven't seen the Sterling Shake in person at the new house, the house that Jeter built.
No.
And you haven't seen the lights go out when Diaz closes a game.
No, but hey, I was telling R, I've been to Truist where they cut the lights off and people turn on their flashlights and do the tomahawk chop. So I was like, I told R, I'm done. I don't think nothing will top this. I am done. I don't want to see no more stadium. And let me tell you a weird story. So I don't want to get off R, but
go ahead, man.
Weird story. Snow. Last June, I was in San Francisco for my niece's 21st birthday. And it was a handful of days after Willie Mays died. My brother-in-law comes to me and says, Dom, you're not going to believe this. I got tickets to the game tonight. It's the ceremony for Willie Mays. Fucking greatest thing I could have ever. Come on, guys. We all grew up with Willie Mays.
Of course,
to be able to be there for that shit, I was like, man, there's a baseball god. Because I'm a baseball guy, man. I love baseball. I like the rest of the sports, but I'm a baseball guy.
I'm from Chicago. I'm from the South Side, and my dad and my granddad, as I've said many times, got me into baseball.
Right.
I had the thrill of celebrating 2005 with my dad before he passed away due to cancer. But the one thing I did not have a chance with him was to share a microphone, because by the time I really dove into my baseball broadcast, his health was failing.
Right.
But just to know that when I would come in or I'd go see him, he would say, "Give me the score," and we'd break down a ball game.
Oh man, please. You already know the deal. Listen. My good friend who's not on with us tonight, David, and I, back in Queens growing up, man. Listen, we used to both eat, sleep, baseball.
Yes,
I was the guy with the stats. I don't have that memory like I used to, but back in the day, I could tell you the top 10 hitters and their averages. off
Oh
the top
man.
of my head. That's the type of love I had.
You know what Dad used to do for me? He used to get me these magazines that had all the baseball stats in the back of the magazine.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's how I learned about a hitter by the name of Tony Armas, who played with the Boston Red Sox.
Yes, he did.
And it was a batting race between he and Donnie Baseball, Don Mattingly.
Exactly.
And that was the race I followed religiously. That I think it was 85. That entire year, I followed that batting race. Even when I went back to school, my teachers would drop quiz notes on me. They say, "Look, I know you follow baseball. Yes, I do. Who's in the hitting lead? American or National League? American. Tony Armas." And they would just look at me. How the hell do you know that?
Exactly.
And it wasn't like he was a household name either.
No. Tony
not
Armas
at all.
Here's the thing. Tony Armas was a power hitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Tony Armas was a power hitter. I mean,
like
baseball
the Red
was
Sox were lighting up baseball either. It was him
right.
in the batting race.
Right. So
I remember it.
It's like, very few people, if you really studied it, knew who Tony Armas was and what he brought to the Red Sox. And his teammate was third in the batting race. You know him, Wade Boggs.
Yeah, Wade Boggs. The young Wade Boggs.
Yeah, the young Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs at third base.
Eating a box of fried chicken before every game. Wade Boggs.
And playing the hell out of third base.
Exactly. Hey, a funny story, Snow. I think I told Hardest. I was a little kid, and I just started playing PAL baseball. Now, I only had a mother, and my mother was a big Yankee fan. You know, back in the day when they was listening to it on the radio.
Right.
We're coming home from one of my games, and she said, "I see you like this baseball stuff." I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool, man." She looked at me off. She probably can't see me. She cut her eyes like a Italian woman would, and said, "Who's your favorite team?" I said, "The Yankees." Years later, I started thinking, what would she have done if I said the Mets? Oh, she probably would have whooped my ass up and down the street.
You know what? It was a baseball game that got me. The first fellow that got me into sports announcing was Jim Durham when I listened to Bulls games back home.
Okay.
Same year, 85. The first baseball voice that got me, actually, there were two of them, Jack Buck and Vin Scully.
I knew he was going to say Vin.
Yeah, Vince, of course.
You had to say Vin.
Vince was in the booth solo. Y'all remember that, right?
Yeah.
Vin
was so. The only time Vin was teamed up is if he was on a national radio call, like he did with the World Series with CBS Radio.
Exactly.
Or he was doing Major League Baseball on NBC.
Right.
That's it.
What was the name of that show? Oh man, you just
This Week in Baseball.
You go. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
I love.
Wait. You gonna make me pull? You are going to make me pull out the classic files.
Oh boy. I'm with it, Snow. Trust me.
You ready?
Yeah.
Every baseball rat knew every Saturday what was going on television.
You know what, Snow? I brought this up to Rodney and them a while ago. That if you have Apple TV, Apple does it every day. Every Monday they go over this shit lasts for like an hour and change.
Yep.
Every day they run an hour and change of what happened yesterday in baseball. It's like This Week in Baseball, except it's
on steroids.
Yeah, this day in baseball. It's hard to get people that are really that into baseball anymore because of. But yeah, I'm not.
Man, I'm not changing. I'm not changing for no. Listen,
no,
when I met my wife, she said she loves football. Absolutely loves football. She and I will watch football a lot, but she says she would never go to a baseball game with me. But 2 years ago, I'm not making this up. 2 years ago, she knows I'm a White Sox fan. So what did she get me? A White Sox hat, a White Sox T-shirt, and a White Sox record book. for my 51st birthday. And I get a big hug and a kiss, and she goes, "I know you love baseball, so here's your happy birthday." And I'm dancing all over the place, man.
I'm pretty sure, Snow, you've been to that stadium out in Durham with the Bulls.
Oh, yeah. I covered the Bulls for a year.
As long as I lived in North Carolina, I have yet to be there. And guess what? Fayetteville has a single A team. The Woodpeckers.
Yes.
Let me tell you, man, for a single A stadium,
yes,
this shit is classic, man.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm like, whoa.
I saw Fayetteville Stadium. I saw Fayetteville Stadium. I've been in Durham Stadium. I've been in the Durham Bulls Stadium.
Right.
But man, the one present I wish I could give my dad was a game at the 2005 World Series. He couldn't go, like I said, because his health was failing. But when I scored a ticket to game 2, I wanted to just run up and grab my dad and say, "Man, you coming with me?" He says, "Do you know how much those tickets are?" "Yes, but I want you to go with me." Then that's when he sat me down and told me I wouldn't be able to make it 9 innings. And I said, "All right."
And look back now, so that was 20 years ago. A regular season game probably is as much as those tickets for that series.
Man, you ain't gonna tell me twice.
Yes, trust me.
We watched. Dad and I watched game 1 of the 2005 World Series. We turned up the radio broadcast with John Rooney and Ed Farmer, had the TV low, and my dad would just like coach me through everything. He said, "Now you see how he described that? You see how that happened?" And we were breaking the game down.
Nice.
And I swear my mother was standing in the kitchen with a 2-foot smile on her face.
Nice. Well, brothers, I hate to do this, but I'm gonna have to.
I know. You gotta go to work.
Well, I have to run an errand as well, but so I have to cut this. Yeah, hey man.
Thanks for having me,
brother.
You guys.
You got to come back a little earlier, man. We started.
Yeah, had to help the wife with something, but I made it when I did.
Listen, love you guys, and I thank you for joining me. All right,
love you, man.
Hey, give me a holler, buddy.
You got it, boss.
All right, kid.
Peace.